Coming up on your summer edition of Carolina Week, it's been a week since Tropical Storm Alberto dumped large amounts of rain on the Triangle. We'll take a look at some of the damage and the cleanup process that's still going on.
Plus, find out why some local teams are upset about a new community policy.
In sports, could it be? Will the Heels bring home a national championship in college baseball?
Plus, weathercaster Jessica Floyd is here with your Carolina Week 4-day forecast.
All that and summer music. Carolina Week starts right now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Hello, and welcome to the June 20th edition of Carolina Week. I'm Caitlin Kleinard.
And I'm Lindsay Michael. The first tropical storm of the new hurricane season put some people's property underwater. The torrential rain brought Crabtree Creek to its highest levels in decades. Reporter Katie Klein takes a look at the continuing cleanup effort.
Imagine going to the mall for a quick lunch and coming out to this. That's what happened to Raleigh resident Daphne Kleinard.
Well, I walked through the doors of the mall and saw my car under 8 feet of water, completely flooded. It was almost over the roof.
When the remnants of Alberto moved through the Triangle on Wednesday, more than 7 inches of rain fell in Wake County. Crabtree Valley Mall closed at noon that day, but for some people, it was too late.
I was really shocked, to say the least. It happened in a matter of about 15-20 minutes. It just happened so fast. It's something unlike I've ever seen before. It's just water running by. It kept getting deeper and deeper.
Right here where I'm standing was completely underwater just a week ago, but now that the waters of Crabtree Creek have gone down, the cleanup has just begun.
Several stores on the bottom floor of the mall are still closed. Crews are busy drying them out and cleaning them up. For some stores, the damage was to the bottom line. Catherine's clothing store assistant manager, Janika Mangum.
The following day, people thought we were closed. We got phone calls all day, with people thinking that we were closed. So sales were really down that day.
Workers are unsure just how long it will take to clean up the mess a little tropical storm named Alberto left in its wake. In Raleigh, I'm Katie Klein, Carolina Week.
And in case you did a double take during that story, Daphne Kleinard is the twin sister of my co-anchor, Caitlin Kleinard.
Daphne called me from the mall last Wednesday to let me know her car was flooded. It rained hard here in Chapel Hill, but not that much.
Yeah, that was some amazing video. Many thanks to our friends at News 14 Carolina for providing it. And in other news, the square in front of the post office on Franklin Street has a new name. Peace and Justice Plaza is the name town council members selected Monday night. The council decided against naming the plaza for 3 civil rights and peace activists. Instead, they opted to name the square for its concept it represents. The activists' names will still be displayed at the plaza, but the Historic District and Public Arts Commissions haven't decided yet how to display the names.
Well, parents, your kids might not be doing what they say they're doing. That's why police in Southern Village don't want you to just drop them off and leave them. Southern Village is a self-contained community where restaurants, shops, and movies are right in your backyard, and it's become quite the hangout for kids. But local policemen don't like kids hanging out there because nothing's open past 9 on Fridays and Saturdays for kids younger than 16. So officers are passing out flyers to make parents aware of what some of the kids are up to. Lieutenant Kevin Gunner heads up the police force at Southern Village.
And we wanted parents to be more aware that the business is closed at a particular time, and they needed to be responsible and come back and pick their kids up.
585-10-4-19-26. Gunner says officers won't arrest kids or ask them to leave the property, but he wants parents to know nothing is going on in Southern Village after 9, and parents should come pick their kids up by that time.
Interest rates on Stafford loans are going up July 1st, and this could really cost you. The good news is you still have time left to do something about it. If you're a student with a Stafford loan, you might consider consolidation in order to keep your interest rates down. Assistant Director of Loans at UNC, Tony Patterson, agrees that consolidation could be the answer, but says it has one main drawback.
Right now, you've signed a promissory note that says when you graduate, you get a 6-month grace period before you go into repayment. when you go into in-school consolidation, you lose that 6-month grace period.
Patterson says not to worry, there are ways to get around paying your loans back immediately. He says UNC students with more than $10,000 in loans should contact the College Foundation of North Carolina right away.
Well, some students aren't going to worry about their loans because their education is being fully covered by a full scholarship. A recent change in state law means the university only has to fund out-of-state students on full scholarship at the in-state rate. More than 2/3 of the people benefiting from this new law are students on athletic scholarships. Well, to stay in the Carolina Inn during a big sports weekend, you have to make reservations months in advance. But the crunch might ease a bit if plans convert a dorm into hotel rooms. Catherine Harrell has more.
Carolina Inn is proposing to add more hotel rooms in Whitehead Hall, which is the dorm right next to the inn.
This here is Whitehead Hall, the proposed site for Carolina Inn, where they hope to build more rooms and other amenities. Currently, Whitehead Hall holds about 100 students during the school year.
Carolina Inn is owned by the university, and the expansion plans are just a piece of a much larger plan UNC has for its main campus area. Carolina Inn Director of Operations, Greg Hilker.
Right now we're waiting on a feasibility study to determine what we would like to do and what is actually acquired or required by the university and what that expansion would mean to us.
The preliminary plans include new amenities such as an exercise room and business center. Current Whitehead resident Kofi Essel says he thinks the plans could be a good idea, but a lot of work is needed to renovate the dorm.
Set up more for a dorm, more for students, freshman students it seems, but I can see it being renovated, made into something for alumni and parents when they come home for either events or homecoming, graduation, things like that. It's going to take a lot of work though.
The plan is meant to help with the inn's current limitations, such as providing more rooms on busy football and basketball weekends. In Chapel Hill, I'm Catherine Harrell, Carolina Week.
Well, no one who was in the housing office late Tuesday afternoon had heard anything about the plan, so it's unclear what would happen to the students currently living in Whitehead Hall.
Well, when we come back, young people are excited about a new cell phone ringer that adults can't hear.
We'll show you why older people can't hear the ring and how students are taking advantage of it.
There's the whole week. There's the whole week. Hey, excuse me?
Excuse me, sir, something wrong?
Yeah, there's something wrong. You want to get me some whole wheat? Oh, come on. Hey, hey, amigo. Hey, I asked you for whole wheat bread. This is not what I wanted. El Wheato.
Sorry for the confusion.
You know, that's the problem with these people. If you want to serve Americans, you got to learn to speak the language. You know what I'm saying?
No, sir. I don't. Enjoy your lunch.
Imagine the power of one voice. Click freedomcenter.org to find yours.
If you have a camera and an idea, you could be the next big hit at the Hi Mom Film Festival. Reporter Ashley Perryman takes a look at the local festival that has grown into a major event.
9 years ago, a couple of local artists got together with the idea of having a festival of short films. The event spanned one night with only 2 hours worth of material from local filmmakers. Now, nearly a decade later, Hi Mom is still running and getting stronger. Films come in from across the globe and the festival spans 3 days in several venues. Though the festival has grown, some things haven't changed. Most notably, the pancake tradition. Hi Mom coordinator Matt Hett said the quirky tradition has always been a crowd favorite.
There were some visiting filmmakers and they were all broke. So one of the hosts pancake breakfast and served up free pancakes for all the filmmakers, and it just became a tradition from there.
Though the festival now draws entries from far and wide, the coordinators still hold to the original motto of no fi too low or high. Filmmakers say the festival is a perfect place to enter films that they just made for fun.
And believe me, the ideas come from everywhere. Filmmaker Jim Haverkamp got his idea simply by thinking to himself, I wonder what that guy would look like in an Abraham Lincoln costume.
It just snowballed from there, and then the guy who played the second Abe Lincoln, he tells a story in the film, which is actually a true story, which is this thing about when he was growing up in West Virginia and was at a party and like beat a guy up with a log.
Participants are already getting geared up for next year's festival. In Carrboro, I'm Ashley Perryman, Carolina Week.
The festival will begin taking submissions for its 10th season at the end of the summer. You can find rules for our entry on our website, www.carolinaweek.org.
And if you run out of things to do on the weekend, you might want to head to the North Carolina Museum of Art, but not just for its great collections. Every weekend during the summer, people line up for tickets at the museum box office. For $3, you can watch popular movies on the museum's outdoor screen. Low prices and good weather bring people out to picnic and spend time with friends and family. There are several reasons why Wimberly Moore and her friends come to the movies each Saturday.
It's wonderful to be outside and enjoy the fresh air and to see the stars during the movie and to be with friends on the lawn and do a picnic and do something different.
For a full listing of the movies showing this summer, go to our website at www.carolinaweek.org. And many people are discovering there's an alternative to sunscreen. When you're playing in the sun this summer, you could protect your skin with special clothing. UPF, or Ultraviolet Protection Factor, numerically rates clothes that block harmful ultraviolet rays. Clothing with a UPF rating of 30 or higher is recommended. If it's not listed, you can shine a light through the fabric to approximate the rating for yourself. Doctors say thorough skin protection requires a varied approach with sunscreen lotion and clothing.
In terms of the protection you're going to get from a high UPF clothing versus a high SPF sunscreen, they're probably equivalent as long as you're continuing to apply the sunscreen regularly. It can be sweated off, it can wear off.
Some of the factors that determine UPF of clothing are construction, color, hydration, or how damp the garment is, and how much it's stretched.
College students have more than school books in common. They also seem to like body art. These students could be talking about their next tattoo or piercing. More than 70% of young adults have some sort of body art. We found tattoos on arms, elbows and toes, ear piercings, belly rings, and lower back tattoos seem to be particular favorites among women. Polly Andrews says body art is a personal choice.
Sometimes it's just reclaiming themselves. Sometimes it's an antisocial thing. There's just too many reasons. There's not one reason.
If you don't think you can handle this needle, then body art may not be for you.
Another thing many students on campus have in common, they almost all use cell phones. Reporter Susan Tart shows us all the buzz behind one new cell phone ringer.
The latest teen buzz doesn't seem to be much more than a buzz. The newest cell phone ringtone can be heard by young people only. It's a ringtone that's at such a high frequency, adults can't hear it.
It's a very high-pitched noise, and it's annoying.
You can hear it high-pitched, really high.
Like a really high-pitched buzzing sound.
Okay, I'm still not hearing anything.
I can't hear anything.
I do not hear a thing.
I hear some birds.
So how does it work? The cochlea in the inner ear has hair cells covering it that pick up high frequencies. As you get older, the hair cells flatten and can pick up only lower frequency sounds. So if you can hear this, then your ears are young enough to hear the new ringtone. Students say they can use the new ringtone in class without their teachers knowing it. But although it might help them socially, it could harm them physically. No matter whether people could hear it or not, many seem to complain of head pressure when they listened for the tone.
Okay, now I do have some pressure going on in my ear.
Yeah, my ears are popping.
It felt kind of like pressure on my eardrums, I guess, a little bit behind the ear.
It's hurting. This side of my head is hurting right now. That's really weird. That's never happened before.
Jack Roush is the doctor of audiology at UNC Chapel Hill. He's not sure whether the effects of the ringtone are dangerous or not.
I don't think we have a very good understanding of that yet. I mean, you know, if it appears to be at a comfortable loudness and it's not at an excessively long period of time, I would not think it would be damaging.
Until there's proof it's harmful, Many teens will continue to use their ringtone. In Chapel Hill, I'm Susan Tart, Carolina Week.
Well, I can tell you right now I could hear it, and I thought it was pretty harmful myself, but more research needs to be done. Doctors say it's a bit hard to come up with any scientific findings when they can't hear the ringtone themselves. And weathercaster Jessica Floyd joins us now.
Yeah, Jessica, I have not seen a bit of rain since all of the rain last week. Can you tell us if sun's on the forecast or?
You know, Caitlin, the weather has just been gorgeous, and even when the sun goes down, it's still very nice at night. And I'm sure those Stanley Cup fans really enjoyed the weather. The weather's been pretty nice this week, and if you're able to get out to the pool, will the weather stay steamy for the weekend? I'll have the answer for you when we come back.
It's springtime in the forest of the black-tailed deer. The young male is feeling playful. It's time for tag. The female flicks her ears. Her way of saying, "Catch me if you can."
To change the world, you don't have to be rich or famous or play ball or lead countries. All you have to do is tell your family you want to be an organ donor. Talk to your family about organ donation. Talk to your family about donating life.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm weathercaster Jessica Floyd. If you've enjoyed the weather over the past couple of days, you're going to love this forecast. For the next few days, it'll be really hot with plenty of sun and only a few storms to worry about. So let's jump right into our satellite map. There are only two fronts that we need to worry about here. One is coming up from the Gulf all the way up the coast of the Carolinas and hovering here in the coastal area, but not to worry, it won't affect our weather too much because it's just going to push right on out into the ocean. The other front is coming down from the north, and eventually it'll ease its way into the Carolinas, bringing us a couple of thunderstorms every now and then. We can take a closer look by looking at our southeast satellite map. Here you can see in the Piedmont area, skies will be pretty clear, whereas on the coast and out toward the mountains, there'll be some cloud cover. But don't put away your sunscreen just yet because temperatures will be in the lower 90s and upper 80s. Taking a look at our surface map, you'll see over here on the west coast, they're enjoying this low pressure with temperatures in the mid 70s. Whereas as we look closer to our neck of the woods, we're enjoying this high pressure, and with this high pressure comes clear skies and temperatures in the lower 90s and upper 80s. You can't ignore these showers hovering in the Midwest area because these will eventually inch their way into North and South Carolina, bringing us some scattered thunderstorms. So let's look at our 4-day forecast. From Thursday to Sunday, the weather will steadily decrease. On Thursday, we'll start at a temperature of 94 with a low at 70. Friday, the high will be 90 with another low right at 70. Saturday, 88, and Sunday, just a tad bit cooler at 87. There will be chances for thunderstorms every day, so make sure you keep that umbrella handy. It's also a great weekend to travel out to the beach. If you want to enjoy some sunshine, the high will be right at 86, with Sunday just a little bit cooler at 85. There'll be a chance of thunderstorms there too, but you know, if you're out there enjoying the waves, then a little bit of rain won't hurt too much. If you want to head over to the other end of the state, to the mountains, it will be partly cloudy, but still nice weather for a hike or just sightseeing. The temperature will be at 84 on Saturday with a low at 62, and Sunday the temperature will be at 82 with a low of 60. So overall, a very nice weekend.
Well, thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank you.
That just sounds great. And it has been an incredible weekend for sports.
Yes,
I mean,
it
we've had
has.
so many sports this weekend.
Yeah, we had golf this weekend, we had hockey, and we had Carolina baseball. And sportscaster Matt Esters joins us now.
Absolutely, a tremendous sports weekend. Do you have a chance to watch any of it with Dad? I know Dad loves to be on the recliner. He had a great chance this weekend to catch all that good stuff.
Yeah, I did. I actually caught a lot of the Carolina baseball games.
Tons of stuff, especially Carolina baseball. As far as we're concerned, that's what we're here for. It's 3 more wins, and the Heels are national champions of college baseball. We'll show you how the Heels got to where they are and tell you just how challenging it's going to be to bring home the national title.
You know, this used to be a good neighborhood. Now it's a mess. You got all these polyps running around. Sneaking up the apple.
Colon cancer almost always starts with the polyp. Get the polyp early and stop colon cancer before it even starts.
Where'd you think you were running to, huh? I didn't even see you guys there. I was
Get the test, get the polyp,
I want to talk to my lawyer!
get the cure.
I got a phone call!
Take a pop quiz with me. In what film did I feel a need for speed? What was my call sign? Who did I sit behind in the F-14? Oh, and one more question. Who does your kid sit behind in homeroom?
Know what really matters. Know about your kid's school and know about your kid. Find out 100 ways to know more, do more.
It was 2-Q at the ACC tournament for the Heels, as in lose 2 and go home to eat barbecue. It's been an entirely different story in the NCAA playoffs. Carolina swept the regional and the super regional to get to the College World Series. We pick up the game in the 13th inning. One man on, Reed Frank gets a friendly bounce on this single. Put a tent on that circus. And Cavassini turns the corner and sets up at third. All-American Josh Horton at the plate now, swinging the big bat to put this game away. It's going foul. Roy Williams looking a little bit down, but don't worry, Roy. That's because the white-hot Horton comes back and rips a single to bring Cavassini home. And yes, that will now make Roy Williams happy. The Heels punch one more nail in the coffin and advance past Cal State Fullerton. The Heels took on Clemson on Sunday. Cavassini waiting at first looking for the steal, but Reed Frank takes this matter into his own hands by sending one all the way back to the wall, and Cavassini comes flying around third. He'll beat the ball home and give UNC a 1-0 lead. The Carolina contingent loves that one. Who knew there were so many Tar Heel fans in Oklahoma? Well, the very next pitch in the game, Horton cracks this shot to right center field gap to bring home Frank. The 2 runs were all the Heels needed to put this game to rest, as Robert Woodard allowed only 3 runs in 9 innings and sat down the last 7 batters he faced. Carolina needs to win only one of the next 2 games to win the bracket and advance to the championship series. If the Heels move on, they'll face the winner of the other bracket in a 3-game set for the national title. As of late Tuesday afternoon, Rice sits atop that bracket. The championship series games are Saturday, Sunday, and if needed, on Monday. The Heels have never won the College World Series. The Carolina Hurricanes are Stanley Cup champions, following a nail-biting Game 7 in the NHL Finals. The Canes wasted no time getting on the board when a minute 26 in, Aaron Ward beats this slapper past Jussi Markkanen. Fellow defenseman Frank Cabriolet put this power play goal in for a 2-0 lead. The Oilers cut the lead in half on this Frank Pisani goal, but Justin Williams sealed the first Stanley Cup in franchise history with the empty netter. The Canes win 3-1. Rookie goaltender Cam Ward is the MVP, and Captain Rod Brindamore was the first to raise the coveted cup to the delight of 18,000-plus Caniacs. Anytime you get Roy Williams, John Bunting, and Woody Durham in the same place, you're talking about some serious Carolina athletics. This time the Heels coaches weren't playing for championships. Instead, they were playing for charity.
Findlay Golf Course was the scene for the 18th annual Carolina Kids Golf Classic Thursday. The tournament, co-hosted this year by UNC coaches Roy Williams and John Bunting, raises money for the Ronald McDonald House of Chapel Hill, the NC Children's Hospital, and the Childhood Trust. Coach Williams and Bunting were joined on the course by university well-knowns as well as donors and sponsors. More than 140 golfers in all took to UNC's home course to compete for a good cause. Event co-founder and voice of the Tar Heels, Woody Durham, enjoys helping out while having fun.
It's rewarding because we know that we're doing something really good for a lot of kids and their parents and the doctors who treat them.
Even the legendary Dean Smith turned out for the event, though he pled with Carolina Week cameras not to show him putt. Smith was named host emeritus of the event, and when you win 879 games, you get as many tries as you need. Smith's successor, Bill Guthridge, was on hand, as well as field hockey coach Karen Shelton, who says outings like these are part of the Tar Heel tradition.
To fundraise for the hospital. It's such a big part of our campus and our community, and it rewards just the whole atmosphere, but most importantly for the patients and people that come to Chapel Hill to be treated.
When the golf was over, the event went inside for a reception and dinner. In all, the tournament raised $204,000 this year, pushing the 18-year total well over $2.1 million. So while some shots missed their mark, the kids were the real winners on this day.
Coach Williams put his golf clubs away and headed to the College World Series, where he's been cheering the Heels on to victory. And Coach Bunting was at the team send-off. So again, it's been, we talked before, a tremendous weekend for all things Carolina sports. And in case you didn't believe us, here it is, hot off the presses. It's ours. Canes win the Stanley Cup, bring the state's first major title to North Carolina. So a tremendous accomplishment for the Canes, and it's immortalized here on the cover of the News and Observer.
Absolutely. And I heard some funny stories about things that players do with the cup. They get to keep it for a day each. I mean, what are they going to do with it?
Every player on the team gets 1 day with the cup, 24 hours. They do things like give their babies a bath in it. They eat their cereal out of it, and dare I say, even drink a little champagne or maybe a beer or two out of the top of the cup.
Wow, that sounds like something I would definitely do with the cup.
That does sound great. I also heard that Raleigh looked like Franklin Street when we won the national championship with all the people crowding the streets. So it was a great, great night last night in Raleigh. And thank you so much, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. Well, when most people think of music, they tend to think of more mainstream music. But down on Weaver Street, people have been singing a much different tune. We'll explain when we come back.
Sniffing things to get high can deprive your brain of the oxygen it needs to keep you alive.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
The Heels are playing some sweet music at the College World Series.
Yeah, but if a trip to Omaha isn't in your travel plans, Julia Meyer tells us there's a different strain of music much closer to home.
Local residents know that they can always count on Weaver Street Market in Carrboro to provide them with a wide assortment of good food and good company. On Sundays between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m., they can add good music to the list. Each year, beginning in early April, Weaver Street Market kicks off its Jazz Brunch concert series. The market hosts one band each Sunday afternoon to entertain local residents while they enjoy a delicious brunch and mingle with friends. This is only one of many concerts to be performed at Weaver Street Market. Local residents have the opportunity to listen to some great music and enjoy some great food. Although you won't hear the latest pop tunes at the market's Jazz Brunch, you will hear an eclectic mix of international and folk music from local bands like Magnolia Klezmer. Magnolia Klezmer's music combines Eastern European Jewish melodies with traditional American jazz. While many residents attend the brunch to listen, or even dance, many, like Michelle Gross, come to enjoy the atmosphere.
I don't study well at home, so this actually helps me focus more than if I were at home by myself.
The Jazz Brunch concert series will run through October. In Carrboro, I'm Julia Meyer, Carolina Week.
Well, it's good to know that we've got good weather in the forecast, so we can go out to the lawn and listen to some music whenever we'd like.
Absolutely.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thanks for watching, and good night.